Why is too much?
So, what happened when they installed your AC?
2 years ago, my air condition didn't work. When from old company didn't work, and 10 months technician came in. I didn't something. Only red made seriously is not funny. Only red when red my air condition is working very well.
How many times did they come?
How many times is
The old company.
2 years ago?
How many times did the technician come?
10 months, I told.
Every month?
2 times in the month. 2 times is a different technician, not one. 1, 2, 1 second, third. They didn't know. I would like to go to the суд. Хотел подавать в суд.
Lawsuit?
Я хотела подавать в суд. I wanted to go to the court.
Yeah.
Because the new air condition didn't work.
Yep.
When I told that I will go to the court, they sent me red. Seriously, it was how.
Yeah.
After red, I began to live. Now I will see red at my home always.
Yeah, we eat food together now.
I am ready to cook something yummy for him. I liked his dog.
That's Irina. This is a little bit of a break from my typical type of content. So this is the unit in question right here. This unit was installed. You see our serial number says it's a 2021 unit right here. And all these units look like they're installed semi-well, and then we got this one right here. It's sitting on this wood. Exactly as Irene said, this unit got installed by my previous employer before I was working for them. Every single month for a year they came out, and rather than finding and fixing their mistake, which was a refrigerant leak at the indoor unit, they recharged it every single month. Not only is that bad for the homeowner, that is bad for our system. This thing ran dry at least 15 times, and that's probably a low estimate. So this thing, it was actively leaking at all times. It ran dry over and over and over again. She went from an old unit, I think it had a simple breakdown, I don't know what it was, and she swapped the unit, paid thousands of dollars. I mean, look at this. It's our high voltage, held together with electrical tape. That right there, you know, high quality stuff. I came out here, I didn't know what kind of situation I was getting into. Irene doesn't speak that good of English, so when I got involved, I was dealing with her daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law basically called the company that I was working for and said, hey, if you don't fix my mother-in-law's AC, we're pressing charges. Like, that's it. They sent me over here. They didn't tell me anything. I found out everything through Irene, and they're basically what they told me was, hey, we've got a customer, they're upset. We need to get this system to make it to 1 year, and then we're washing our hands of the situation. I didn't fix this whole install. I told the company I was working for that this unit needed to be replaced. Everything it's gone through, there's no way this thing is gonna live a long life. As you can see, they didn't do that. It's reasons like this, seeing Irene, the nicest lady on earth, getting completely scammed by my employer. It just didn't sit right with me, and it's reasons like this that I actually got my own license. I saw too many situations like this, not just working for this company, working for other companies. This company has 4.9 stars on Yelp, 5 stars on Google. They've been in business for like 8 or 9 years at this point. Nothing you could find online would tell you that this company was going to do work like this. And to top it all off, this is the company, the company that did this install is the company that the building, if you go to the building maintenance of this building that I'm on top of right now and say, hey, my AC is broken, who do I call? That's the company that they recommend. Irene, she went to her building and said, who should I contact? And the company that she was referred to that installed her unit did literally the worst install on this roof. Now look at this install. Looks like it was reasonably done. This one's been replaced before. Choose your HVAC installer carefully. It's like real unfortunate that you got to be this careful nowadays, but the overall quality of work that gets done in people's homes, this is not abnormal. And people can comment. I'm sure that there's people that are going to watch this that either know someone that's been in a similar situation, they themselves have been in this situation, or they've been the HVAC tech like I was that gets put in a shitty situation by their employer. I feel really bad for Irene. 10 months, no heat, no AC. So it took threatening to go to court to fix the situation. Should people subscribe to our channel, Irene?
That is very, very good technician.
The leak on her system was here.
This is not very well.
I don't think anybody's gonna care.
Next time I prepared.
Okay.
I cannot explain what magic you made that you are funny, but it's not funny. 10 months I cannot use air condition.
Yeah.
It was cold, it was winter.
Yeah.
Only you made it.
Yep.
Seriously, I told your parents too. It's not funny.
Irene met my parents. I just want to make a couple follow-up observations on this. The company that I was working for was not a big company. This was a small local business with a good online presence, solid reviews, and the owner himself was coming out and estimating all these jobs. That company, the one with the owner himself coming out and explaining, like, we're gonna do a top-notch install, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. That company was the one that ended up doing her this dirty. And that company's attitude was, hey, once we make it past 1 year, their labor warranty was 1 year across the board, and once we make it past 1 year, it's not our problem anymore. Once you were outside of a year, they wanted you to pay. That company didn't really vet who they hired. They would hire people, and same day they would start them as a lead installer with basically zero supervision. They would just send the guys on installs that they knew nothing about. I don't think everyone at that company had bad intentions. Most of the guys that were there kind of longer term, they were good guys. They weren't messing up these installs on purpose. The actual company was trying to do too many installs in pretty much any time frame. So you run into an issue on the install and suddenly you don't have time to fix it properly. As a technician, sometimes you're not in a situation where you can, like, necessarily do what's best for the customer. It's like, hey, the company wants you to look out for them first. If it was our fault, like, then you keep that to yourself. If we messed up and it's gonna cost us money, like, do it as costing us as little money as possible. Oh, and by the way, you have 3 more service calls today. So when you're an HVAC technician and you're working for one of these companies, which I hate to say this, but the majority of companies operate this way, when you're working for them, especially if you know what you're doing, the majority of HVAC techs that know what they're doing get put in situations like this by companies way too frequently. They're like, hey, smooth over the situation. You're going into an angry customer that we did bad work for, but they don't say this explicitly, but you already know when you're going into the situation. It's like, hey, I'm going in, the customer's gonna be angry, we did bad work, they know, but we won't admit it, and we've been trying to avoid fixing it properly for probably the better part of a year. You get used to going into these situations, but that's not how it should be. My advice to anybody who is in a situation like this, if you're in the middle of it, if it's been more than 2 or 3 visits, I would try and I would get another company out. And then I would send the initial company the bill for the repair. And if they don't want to pay it, I would sue them, take them to small claims court. Make sure you document everything, get pictures. If you get a company to come out and clean up your install and they know they're going to be compensated for it, then they will willingly point out everything that's wrong with it. Because if you make it very clear, like, hey, I got this system installed, I know it was installed poorly, and I want you to fix it. Make sure you kind of lay out exactly how you are approaching the situation. A good company will help you out. That doesn't mean that they're going to give you any kind of preferential pricing. That just means that they'll make sure that they document everything. The last 2 companies I've worked for, if you would have done that, they would have just paid it. They wouldn't even said anything. They would have paid the bill.